This question is from Sandhya. Namaskaram Sadhguru. One of the leading actors for Hindi films today took his own life. I am really shocked by this. In recent past, Robin Williams and many other extremely successful people have also taken such a drastic step. As a society, where are we going wrong that even successful people are ending their lives in this manner?
Well, every year, 800,000 people are committing suicide. This is many times more than the number of people murdered and those who die in wars, many times more. It's just that I do not know who this actor or actress is.
Sushant Singh Rajput.
Well, I just know a few names, so I don't know. I'm sorry. Whoever this is, I don't want to say anything about this person, unfortunate, because we know nothing about his life. But why is this happening? I think I can call it a phenomena, when 800,000 people are dying per year, which means every 40 seconds, approximately every 40 seconds, one person is committing suicide. That's not a small thing. Well, there are many aspects to this. If you because people right now, if they've lost somebody who is dear to them or who they look up to, now they are in emotional states, they will not look at it as it should be. But if you are willing to simply look at it as life, not as a person, one of the most fundamental reasons for collapse of an individual human being, which may end in suicide or may end in a depressed state or may end in some other kind of ailment, that is subject to various aspects, but essentially a collapse. Life did not collapse. Life collapse, that's different. That is Kala Bhairava's work. You want to take his job, you want to go ahead of him and do it yourself. Well, this needs to be treated with compassion, I know that very well. It's not that I have no compassion, it is a sensitive matter. But I want you to look at it simply the way it is, because if you want to grasp what it is, otherwise, when somebody commits suicide or when somebody dies, you get emotional, you think this is the end of the world. After 3 days, you will go back to your normal life and everything will go on and you'll forget about it. And once again, when somebody dies, again the same emotions, same struggles, and again go back to the same square one. So it's time that you look at it just as life, not as a person. Especially not as a person that was near to you or dear to you or someone that you loved. Don't look at it that way, just as life. Why does a life do this? There are many layers to this. One fundamental aspect is, the experience of life is not pleasant. Because right now, the experience of our life has been mortgaged to something else, to success in the world, or to money, to wealth, to relationships, just so many things, mortgaged to so many things. If the market collapses, people will commit suicide. If a love affair collapses, somebody will commit suicide. If they lose their wealth, they will commit suicide. Because what you call as a human being, unfortunately, is a collage of all these things. My money, my home, my family, my relationships, my job, and my position, my fame, my name, all this collage. Well, this means… a collage means a loosely put together pieces. Anytime it can collapse. If one part of the picture somebody burns it out, it'll collapse. Well, many questions will come up, I know in a brief time I won't be able to cover all these aspects. I think, we have covered this in the death book to an extent of elaborateness where I will not make enemies with people. Yes, because most of the humanity is not willing to look at life straight in the eye. They want drama. So, to the point that it is possible to present in the public space, we've gone that place and a little more with that book about suicide and all these aspects. To put it very simply, there is life. Life means not things that happen in your life. Life is not a drama that's happening around you. Life is a fundamental thing that's happening within you. This life runs on the basis of certain principles and laws of its own. And now, there is a world around you, a society. It runs on its own crazy principles, which is fluid and changing all the time. Today, if you do one thing, people will clap their hands for the same thing. 100 years later, they will pull you down. Well, right now, there is a movement going on. All these races, at one time, they were celebrated, they were great leaders. They were great leaders. People thought, this is not one or two people, I want you to understand. Today, it is being made out like this, one person was a racist. One person was not a racist, the entire society was. One person killed more, captured more, enslaved more, so he was a hero, that's why we put up his statue. In the given society, he was a great hero. Because a racist means he is against somebody but serves somebody else. If I rob you and give it to this person is happy, he thinks I'm a wonderful guy. It's called a Robin Hood, you know. So, when people went and stole wealth from other nations, people at home clapped their hands and said, this is wonderful. That was not enough, stealing their wealth. We stole people and brought them. People said, this is great, these guys will work for free. People said, it's great, please understand, it's not that one guy, not that one slave trader, it is the entire society which enjoyed the fruits of slavery, no question about it. We can't escape that. So similarly, in a society, in any given society, this is not a commentary about any particular person or a particular society. In every society, there is something like this. Some are absolutely unbearable levels, others are manageable levels, but in every society, there is something like this. This happened to me very young. When I was 10, 11 maybe, by the age of 11, 11 and a half, I start looking at life in terms of what is justice, what is injustice. I found my father very unjust. I found my mother very unjust. I found my sisters and my brother very unjust. I found the political system very unjust. I found the social situation very unjust. I saw the global situation very unjust. Everything looked like injustice to me. As I saw injustice in everything, I got slowly angry. No wonder, today happens to be Che's birthday. Oh, I got there without even knowing about it. So, Che Guevara became a big inspiration. I want to join armed struggle because all the unjust people I want to kill. All those people who are spreading injustice in the world, you want to kill. This is what Subramanya or Kartikeya did. He went on slaughtering thousands of people. Wherever he saw injustice, slaughter, slaughter, slaughter. Then he realized, if you go by this mode, you will have to slaughter the entire world. Because in everything there is some injustice. Even within the ashram, lot of people complaining, how much injustice is there in this damn place? Yes, I get all kinds of commentaries. How I am unjust? Because there is no such thing as perfect justice which will make everybody happy. It's simply not possible. Whichever way you do, within the family if there are two children, one child will feel there's injustice for him because when you cut the mango, one piece was bigger than the other. Yes, it's like this. So when you are a collage, some piece falls down and sometimes without that piece you will be little, crying and singing. Because all these things have been romanticized. When somebody cries and sings in great misery, it is considered a great song and a fantastic place. Hello? You enjoy other people crying, isn't it? You enjoy other people being in misery, you go to the cinema and they cried and their life was a disaster, you also cried, then you came out and said, what a great movie. No, I'm not commenting about the art form, but I'm saying, you enjoy other people's misery as long as it doesn't touch you. If the same things happen to you cry, but now tears really have bitterness. Now tears have acid, it burns into you. Otherwise, it's all a kind of nice thing. So why I'm saying this to you is, Sadhguru, when somebody, a young man has committed suicide, do you have to be so brutal? That's why I told you, I'm not talking about this person or any one person. Look at life as it is. Life is happening to a certain principle and a certain law of its own. Now you have created a society which is a collage of many things, nobody knows what the hell it is about. Now you take this entire society and imprint it on your mind. So you have a mind which is just like the society, but not even exact reflection of the society, your own distortions of the society. See, you can't live without the society. But in the society, there are so many points of misery for you. When it works against you, you're miserable. When it works for you, you enjoy it. This is going on. So you have a mind, thought and emotional structure, and you have a life. These are like, in Isha Yoga Center, all the carts we put only one bull. This is very new in Tamil Nadu, if you don't know this. Only in Karnataka there are one bull carts. In Tamil Nadu, there are no one bull carts, always two bulls. Even a small cart, two bulls. There's some cultural belief or understanding about that. So I insisted it must be one bull. Our people said, no Sadhguru, one bull will not be able to pull. I said, it's okay, put ball bearings, do whatever you have to do, make it easy, but it must be one bull. Now, the life that you are and the mind that you are like two bulls on a cart. You must be a skillful driver to keep the two bulls in one direction. If one goes this way, one goes that way, your cart will crash. It may not go totally away, they're little pulling this way, then you're little depressed, you're struggling, you're miserable. But if it really goes in two different directions, you will crash. Not everybody will crash. Unfortunately, 800,000 people per year. I don't know. They are saying over 200,000 people are between 20 to 29 years of age. Prime of their life, they're taking it out. So what is their struggle? Somebody may have a incurable disease, so very painful, so he wants to end it. We will pardon him. Somebody else in a financial mess, we don't pardon him. Somebody else failed love affair, we cannot pardon him. Somebody else failed an exam, cannot pardon him at all. Like this, there are many reasons. This is not to make jokes out of them, it is just this, that all that's happening within you is, you have a mental image of what is life and you have a life. When your image doesn't match the life that you are, this life that you are is not different from the life that I am. It is not different from the life that anybody is. But your mind has become like this, it doesn't reflect life, it doesn't serve life. It thinks it's a life by itself. You start believing that your thought process and emotion is a life by itself. Your social situations are a life by itself. Now, one bull is pulling this way, one bull is trying to go straight, another bull is pulling that way. We don't know how strong the ropes are, how long it'll hold. If it doesn't crash, anyway it's a miserable ride. See, there is no need for you to end your life because Kala Bhairava, his efficiency you cannot question. He is not left one single human being undead. Never failed, isn't it? Some people lived long. This doesn't mean they escaped death, they lived well, that's all. Their mind and their life, the two bulls ran together. Or maybe they were wise enough to make it into one bull. Only their life ran, mind was just a small happening, like me. Nothing in the head. So, no problem, people ask, Sadhguru, will you ever get angry, will you get depressed, will you feel frustrated? Where does that happen? Where does those things happen? I don't know where it happens because that place where it happens generally doesn't exist with me. Once in a way, when I sit like this, I need a mind, so I bring it back. Otherwise, it doesn't exist. Well, does frustration happen in my little finger? It is hurting a bit, but frustration doesn't happen in the little finger. But looking at the little finger, frustration can happen here. Frustration cannot happen in the little finger, frustration cannot happen in your toes, frustration cannot happen in your knees. Frustration happens only in one place. That place, to get rid of that place, it takes lots of work. So right now the best thing to do is, the two bulls must be disciplined enough to ride together. You don't try to make life go with mind, there's no such thing. It runs by itself, that's not even yours. That's not run by you, it's running, this is creation. Your business is to keep the other bull, which is entirely your bull,